As you can tell by my sad looking Ethernet icon on my taskbar, my internet is down. My modem died last night and I ended up with one of these. Let's get into it. Welcome to the channel, folks. My name's Shane. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and also click that little bell. So sad news, last night my old NETGEAR modem died after about 4 or 5 years. I've been living in this place at least 5 years. I'm pretty sure I had it the entire time I've been here. So it lasted a fairly long time. The only thing is, in Australia, my particular internet connection is Annex M, which means I sacrifice a small amount of my download speed to get a better upload speed. And the better upload speed totally sucks, but I need to find an Annex M compatible modem. And this seemed to be about the best one I could find, at least through my research last night. For what I do at home, being a YouTuber, having the fastest possible upload speed is an absolute essential. Even on Annex M, which is terrible, I get about 1.7 megabits per second upload speed, which isn't great, but it's the best I can get right now. There's kind of like 4 main reasons I went for this modem over anything else I could find on the Officeworks and JB Hi-Fi website. I just scoured the web looking for the best deal and the best modem for my needs. One, it's Annex M compatible, which is an ADSL2 profile, which means I can sacrifice a little bit of my download speed and get faster upload. The second reason I went for this modem is it's also NBN compatible. So if you live in Australia, no doubt you've heard of the National Broadband Network. It's getting rolled out everywhere. My area is scheduled for 2019. So once I'm available to get that, I'll switch over and I'll have a modem that will work with that, but it's also ADSL2 or 2+ compatible also, which is fantastic. So that's a huge bonus. The third reason I went for this is the fact it's also got some gigabit ports on the back, which is fantastic. The fourth reason is kind of like a twofold thing. I guess it just comes down to price and performance, especially on the Wi-Fi. And yeah, I thought, you know what, we'll give this a go. We'll see if it's any good. If I don't like it, I can take it back, which is great. If anything doesn't seem to work, I can take it back, which is also great. So let's get into it. Alright, so I thought I'd grab the smallest knife I have and we'll do a 30-second unboxing. Let's do it. Alright, here we go. We've got the quick start guide, which is usually pretty handy, so I'll just leave that on my keyboard. We have this kind of super cool looking modem router right here. There's all the ports on the back. DSL, USB, 4 gigabit Ethernet ports, internet connection port, and a reset button inside that little pin here, power on and off, and for the power supply right here. Awesome. It's a little bit bigger than my old modem, but you know, who cares? And what's great about this too is it also comes with a couple of cables. So the first thing you want to do anytime you buy a new modem or you swap one over is change this cable. These have a finite life cycle of about 4 to 5 years. Any longer than that and you'll start having problems and you'll think it's your modem, when it may actually be the cable that goes from your phone socket to the modem. So always use the new one of these. Don't leave the old one on, especially after 4 or 5 years. These can break down. It's happened to me a couple of times over the years. We also get Ethernet cable as well, which is pretty awesome. It looks like we also get a line splitter as well, which is pretty sweet. We get the power supply as well, which is awesome. And we get this little phone socket connector thing, which I don't think I need, but I'm going to keep it in the box because maybe it's something for when I get the NBN. So let's do it. I don't know about you, but I reckon that looks kind of sexy in a geeky, nerdy, techie sort of way. What do you reckon? Pretty sweet, huh? The physical setup is nice and simple. I just plug the opposite end of this gray cable, which I showed you before, into the wall of my phone jack, and then it's going to go into the back of the modem into this DSL one right here. Click it in, good to go. Now if you choose to, you can use the yellow cable that came with it. I already had a pretty new Ethernet cable that I got a few months back, so I'm going to go ahead and plug this into the back of the modem, and we can pretty much plug it into any of the yellow ones. I'm just going to use number 1. In my other room I've got a gigabit Ethernet switch as well, and that's connected just via another one of these Ethernet cables. These are all Cat6 cables. If you want to find out more about these, I'll post some links in the description below. I'm just going to plug that into number 2. Here's a quick pro tip. If you're going to be using this into like a power strip or a power board, make sure that it's not a loose connection. Don't put it in one of those. They can easily short out. So just make sure it's in securely and you should be good to go. So on the back of the modem, just simply turn it on. It's on the left, the switch. You'll see the light come on over here. The red light is on, we are good to go. As I just grabbed the instruction manual, I looked at my computer and I noticed that it just popped up with this NETGEAR Genie page. So that's pretty cool. It automatically launched my default browser, so it makes it easier to set up. How cool is that? I'm gonna see if we can do this without even using the startup guide. And if I get stuck, I might use it, but I've used NETGEAR stuff a lot. We should be good to go. So let's do it. All right, so this is the first page that we see. It says select country. I'm in Australia. Select internet service provider. I'm actually with Internode. I guess IINet will work as well now because they're the same company. Advanced settings. Let's just see what it is. Okay, so this is where we select either ADSL or VDSL. I'm just gonna leave it on ADSL because that's what's working for me right now, hopefully. All right, the weird thing is I can tell that it's working. I've seen the icon change. It's got my internet IP address, awesome, because I just loaded up another browser in the background here while I was waiting for a few minutes. It does take a while, and I wanna go to wireless setup here. Now, for me personally, I love having crazy names. I like to pick like horror movie names or whatever. So I'm gonna change this to House of 1,000 Corpses. Why not? You know, people will see that and they'll be like, what the hell is going on here? So channel, I'll leave to auto right now. It'll select the best channel based on what's going on around me. And mode, up to 300 megabytes per second or megabits per second. Yeah, let's choose that. Security options. Now, there's a default password that's on top of the router. I never use that. I like to make my own. So I'm going to change this over to something else. I guess the first thing I really want to do is just run a speed test, make sure I'm still getting the full benefit of my Annex M. This modem is supposed to be compatible, and I haven't delved into the settings of the modem to see if it's actually set to Annex M or not. So we're just going to run a speed test. And it should come in at around 17 download. Yeah, I know it's slow if you live in Australia, or somewhere around there, 16. And yeah, that looks about normal. And the upload speed should be about 1.5 to 6, somewhere around there. And the upload speed looks a little slower than it should be. So I'm tipping I have to set something in the mode. Oh, it's almost there. It's almost there, but I'm tipping there's an Annex M setting somewhere in the actual administration options here, or maybe in the setup options. Let's have a look. Now, Annex M is not supported by this modem, and I found that out on the forum. Someone said they contacted support and it's a misprint in the document or the manual, which totally sucks. So it's a complete deal breaker for me. But if you're looking just for a standard ADSL2 plus modem or something that will work with NBN as well, then it will work. But for what I need it for my little weird niche of needing Annex M, just for that little bit of uploads, extra upload speed so I can live stream and upload videos a little bit quicker, that's a total deal breaker. All right, so this is day 2 and I thought I'd give you my overview and review of this particular modem. It actually works great. I probably should have held on to it. Now, the reason I returned it initially was I couldn't find any Annex M settings anywhere within the configuration settings of the modem. Every modem I've ever owned that supports it always has a little box that you tick to enable that type of mode. And I also took it back, I swapped it for a D-Link, and that had the Annex M mode, so I selected that and set up my profiles, all that kind of stuff. And it was actually slower than the actual NETGEAR, which was a bit of a shock, so I took that back. So what did I end up doing? I got on eBay and I found the exact same modem that I had that I know supports Annex M. I took that back home, I set it up, and I got exactly the same speeds as the NETGEAR. What I can tell you now from experience, and after trying 3 different modems, the modems greatly affect the speed of the line. I don't know why, but this is definitely the case. The D-Link was the slowest, the NETGEAR was the fastest, and the one that I already had was pretty much exactly the same as the NETGEAR, give or take. I mean, it fluctuates, and speedtest.net isn't always accurate as well, but I also just did some uploads to my FTP server just to see what kind of speeds I was getting that way as well, and they were basically on par. So if you're looking for a modem that does support Annex M but also ADSL2 Plus, all that kind of stuff, the NETGEAR is going to be great, but it doesn't say it anywhere in the config file. And after comparing it to two modems now that I know that support Annex M, I was getting exactly the same speed. So overall, really great modem. You know what? Because I only paid 30 bucks to get the old one back that was new old stock, I might actually go back and get it. So yeah, crazy times, but thanks for watching. If this review and little demonstration was helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. This is something a little bit different. I haven't done a router/modem review ever, so hopefully this was helpful. Thanks again, catch you soon. See ya.